First, our students, our schools. Lamprey River Elementary School, Servapalooza. Yeah. If you want to stand back here and take pictures, you can take pictures over here, wherever you like.
Back here. Yeah, come on back here. We don't bite.
John does, but he's not here. So we're good.
All of it is sweet. So today we are going to do this more like a question and answer. And I have 3 students with us today. And so this is looking back at Servapalooza, which was really an amazing day at our school. We want to share some of our favorite memories about the day. So first, I'd like you to meet Brogan Baxter, and he is in Mrs. Coughlin's kindergarten class. So what was your favorite part of the day?
Getting the books.
So why was that your favorite part of the day?
Because I like customize.
So what does customizing mean?
They put the beads on the shoelaces.
Right. So you get to pick out your shoelaces. So can you show us what you put on your boots? And maybe you guys can show us. Yeah, if you stand over there, you can show us. Yeah, you guys can show them real quick.
Oh, you got pink ones.
Very nice.
If you see the slides, this is where they got to
Well,
pick
that's
all the.
All right, and those look like hiking boots.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
And these are all the different types of shoelaces and beads. And there's some examples. So thank you, Brogan. So you guys can come back and sit. Next, I'd like you to meet Bentley Buskay. He is in Mrs. Wells' 2nd grade class. And Bentley, what was your favorite thing about the day?
In the backpacks and that you don't have to pay for.
Okay, so getting the backpacks and that you didn't have to pay for anything. So you guys, one more time, can you stand back and get these backpacks? You should have done it all at the same time.
Hold on. All right.
Oh, dance part.
So Bentley, why
Very nice.
are all the backpacks the same?
No.
No, so did you get to choose your own?
Even if you don't want that, even if you don't want one that you don't like, then all you have to do is just ask if you have a kind that you like.
And they would do it for you, they would give you what you wanted. Yeah, okay, come back and sit. So you can see all the different types of backpacks that they had. This is just one class, lots of different backpacks. And Bentley also shared that he loved the fact that they were so generous and that everything was free. And it was pretty darn amazing how much the kids got. One of our friends, her name was Eva, she was going to come, but she couldn't come tonight. She said her favorite part was the free socks. And I said, why the socks? And she said they were super warm, super cool, really fun colors. And everybody shared that they loved the free socks they got. All right, and I'd also like you to meet Jocelyn Stilson. Jocelyn is also in Mrs. Wells' 2nd grade class. And Jocelyn, can you share what your favorite part of the day was?
My favorite part of the day was that we got to paint the mural
And why was that your favorite part of the day?
because we got to choose what color we wanted for it.
Okay, and where is the mural now?
The mural is in our school at the cafeteria. Up on right up above where you get the food.
And how many people put their hands on it?
All of the schools put their hands on it.
So everybody, and this is what it looks like. It says grow together. And everybody in the entire school put their hands up on the mural.
I also liked about it that we made it ourselves.
So we made it ourselves. So it was a really nice thing. And this is what it looks like in the cafeteria now. And so everybody can see that they put their hands on it and that they're part of what we built that day. So just before Timberland came, we had a whole school meeting and all our students were there. And we talked about two things. We talked about the importance of saying thank you, and we talked about what service is. So all students created thank you notes for all the people from Timberland. So when they left that day, they had a stack of 300 thank you notes from all our students to say thank you. And also all the students had a chance, they worked with our UA team and they painted rocks that are now in all the beautiful landscaping that's around our building. So that's our Servapalooza. Do you have any questions for us?
Questions? Joe?
So were you expecting all this stuff?
But I know I wasn't expecting all this stuff.
Oh, I didn't actually have a question, but did you guys have fun with the day? It sounds like it was a really fun day.
Yeah.
I can tell you that it was a once in a lifetime. One third grader said, "No, when are we going to do this again?" I'm like, yeah, never. Like this was a once in a lifetime. It was a wonderful event. It just filled the entire, and that night was our open house. And it was so much fun to watch all the kids come in with all their booths and and it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah. That was the heart. It was really a great day. We were very grateful to Timberland for selecting our school and working with everybody.
That's fantastic.
Very nice. Thank you.
I do think a huge thank you needs to go out to Ms. Karen, because I think she's the one that basically submitted the application and got everything rolling.
I did.
A huge thank you to her.
A huge thank you to Ann. She was the one who got us connected, and then she worked tirelessly that day and after to make sure that everything was successful.
Because I did walk in that night and said, okay, we're going to look good for the morning. And her person, yes, we will. It'll all be taken care of, Terry. I said, okay. And it was.
Was
Joe?
Did you guys get to wear your boots when you pull it out on Monday?
Should I read that specific question?
your parents gonna ask?
Do the parents have any questions?
No,
Oh, all right.
They're very proud of you.
were the people nice?
Yes.
You told me that.
And you told me that they did it so that they could tell they're trying to show you that they're still good people out in the world.
That is right. I
These
did.
are very good.
That's a good message. Yeah.
It's a good message.
Not even bad people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Nice job.
Yeah.
They're all fine.
No, non-public?
I'll shut the answer question.
No, non-public.
Turn the question around. Who knows that, so you can teach other kids.
All right, so I will open, public input. Anyone for public input? I can leave that open till 6:40. Hold on. Student representative to the school board.
Most of this is from site council. So they're trying to push for next year for painting for parking lots for the seniors. They still need to do some fundraising for the paint and stuff. There's also concern that there's not enough parking spaces. I don't drive, so I wouldn't know, but a lot of people have been saying there haven't been enough spaces, especially these years, but I don't know, because that's always kind of a problem. I don't know. That's just what from what I heard. And then, any questions on?
So you said, what parking spaces? Regular school hours?
For kids, the park.
Yeah,
How many spaces are there?
I don't know.
because it's gonna be
How many spaces are there? Do you know?
juniors and
Partial sophomores.
partial sophomores. Yeah,
All right, do you know how many spaces there are?
I don't know.
You gotta get on this research.
Okay.
Yeah, that just, yeah.
Okay.
I know in the past when they've had seniors and juniors that usually park in has been enough.
Well, I don't know either, but in the past, we've opened a backup. I do know that, EEI is taking some of those spots up, so it might be a little bit tighter. I know we still got a dumpster sitting out there and some other things that need to be moved or taken away. So I think there might be, let's just say 10 spots short, but I do know that there's still quite a bit of parking out back. And I know that I have said when we get full, and nobody's told me we're full yet, we open that up.
Okay.
Except for the roll over by the SAU, because some people get a little fussy about that over there, so we don't tend to park there. But anyways,
I need a clean entry and exit when I come to visit.
Yeah.
Don't be jamming it up.
He knows it lights me.
oh man, who's that car, Terry? Who's that car?
But,
Walk across there, find out.
Is there any way for me to like send out a form or something for people to fill out, that they're like their name and that they are trying to
So you need to talk, it's not Ms. LaValle anymore. She got married, but I'm not sure of her last name. She
Sharon?
knows exactly how many parking permits, spaces we have and how many permits have been issued.
Okay.
That's where you need to start. Okay? So that's what you need to do. You don't have to do any research with kids yet because we have X number of permits. And again, if we have to open up the back, we can open that back up. We can assign teachers and put a buffer in there so that teachers aren't parking right next to kids, but we can open up some more spots.
Okay. And then for site council, they're talking about much on the personal side, much against my advice. They're just talking about it, but they're have some questions about formatives, such as, what was the reasoning behind, science? So this year, not in previous years, but this year, when you turn in a formative late, the max you can get is a 50. And so that was this year. So now they're questioning, and then they've come up with some new questions as well, about formatives and how they're inconsistent. And they're they're talking about trying to gather all the department heads and ask them questions. And
Is that just science or all of them?
all of them. Well, no, science is a 50. But they're going to be asking everyone about like inconsistencies and stuff like that. And how can you grade effort?
The formatives, I think your homework and all that stuff.
Not summatives, not
Yes, I
summatives.
know.
Okay, now I know. That's
Okay.
you, yeah.
They're questioning why they get less value, if you will. They're getting a lower score because they turned it in late.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's pretty obvious, but they're just trying to figure out the reasoning. And is
I
it
mean-
even worth it at all?
No, I mean,
You said just science, it's only in science,
Only in science.
so if we turn in math, it's not.
Well, no, because a lot of the time, we made it so you would get a partial grade or whatever, 10% or whatever it was for doing homework now. But we never made a proclamation or anything about deducting if your homework is in late or anything like that about getting a percentage off. I don't remember talking about that at all.
I don't remember a proclamation, that's for sure.
I don't either, but I mean, I understand it. Part of learning how to do things in the world is sometimes there's a deadline and you have to meet a deadline. And if you don't get it in on time, if you don't file your taxes on time, you're gonna pay a penalty.
Mhm.
Like it's part of
And
the
they don't cut
process
half
is
off of
returning
that.
it when you're
Yeah.
supposed to. Yeah,
It's on half off.
So I don't remember us specifically saying that we could do it, but I don't.
Teachers need
problem.
some,
Yeah.
accountability too.
They can't have all the work being turned in on the last day that the grades are due. Do you know what I mean? Like that,
That happens too.
Yeah.
And then they get full credit.
if you have every
Well,
student.
There's an easy solution. Turn it in on time.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
My biggest concern personally is that science is probably the one that you need the most time with. And you're probably, in my experience, you're going to be the one that's most of the time like overdue, and definitely not English, probably not math, and probably not history, but science is the one because you need to be there. So that's just my concern, but I get where they're coming from. And my concern, by council, was that if they start talking to the department heads, start asking questions, and they start trying to,
If they want consistency, what if they all make it 50, they get 50?
yeah, this is,
It could
basically,
go both ways here if they,
yeah, this is Pandora's box, and
It is, it really
I
is.
do not want to be doing
I
this.
kind of like where you're going with it too, yeah.
I don't think this is a good idea,
No.
but mind control, they have mind
What
control.
advice, yeah.
So they're probably will be going down that road and I'm gonna tell them I told you so.
I get where the teach, well, the science is coming from, I shouldn't say here. But, I mean, we added that on this year, so kids would actually do their homework in the first place, because they weren't doing it, period. And then they were wondering why their kids were suffering. But now we added on, so it was just, have you completed the homework? Because I think we did discuss that, did you put any effort in?
Yeah, right. It didn't even have to be right. Last I heard, like you just had to pass it in, done.
Make it
Turn it in.
So some homeworks are like, if you did it and if you put effort into it, then it's 100, but some don't. And it's different for every teacher and it kind of just like seems like they're choosing at random when it is. That's just what I've seen and what I've heard too. It's very weird.
It seems that, and I'm not sure if you're saying science is just harder homework and that's why those come in late more, but if there's an issue with the amount of time they're given, but I kind of assume they're given a decent amount of time to get the homework done. And I'm going to say this and I might regret this, but it seems like if you have homework, you have to do your homework. And if it's hard, then it's hard, but do what you can and turn in what you can, but make sure you turn it in on time. Like no one's expecting people to be perfect, but we are expecting them to turn it in when it's due. And if you need help, that's what we have RAM time for. You have time to go see teachers. And if you ever have trouble with, like, there's support built through our entire structure for students who are having trouble getting things done to get them done. And I'm sure if somebody went to a teacher and said, hey, I'm having a hard time, I'm not gonna be able to turn it in tomorrow, that teacher would work with the student. God bless.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So I understand the concern, but I think the students have to take some responsibility back to themselves and say, okay, this is my work. I have to get it done.
Yeah.
But I will say the responsibility when it comes to if you need to do a retake on a test, you need to have your homework done anyhow.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't get the whole 50% thing. I mean, if the kid does bad the summative and he wants to retake, he ain't gonna be able to retake it.
Well, is that the case though? If they turn it in late, they still haven't turned it in and they can still do a retake.
Oh, they can do a retake once they turn it all in, yes. But they still have to do their homework.
There's sorry.
So, sorry, let me just clarify something because maybe I misunderstood. You were saying that they get 50% on the formative, not the summative.
No, that you can't, I'm pretty sure you can't do anything with the summative. You can't mark people off for the summative.
Okay, so they don't lose any points off their testing. They just lose the points off the value of their homework.
Which is what, 10%?
Well, it's not just homework, it's also in-class work.
Right, I'm just trying to
Okay.
keep the equation easier in my
Yeah,
head,
yeah.
but yeah, the summative work.
Is this a certain grade or is this seniors or?
Oh, no, it's everybody. And I only have Mr. Koch this year for science. So, I mean, well, I have Mrs. Gallagher, but I'm doing all the work, so it doesn't really matter. But, it seems people have been saying it's pretty inconsistent because some teachers are following it. Some of the science teachers are following it and some aren't. So I don't even know why they're trying to ask questions and why they're getting it if they're enjoying the 100s on their missing work, but that's me.
Okay.
Good question, but I don't know if it's exactly what you want to be doing.
Freshmen swapping because they never do their homework in middle school.
Yeah.
Oh, they already did.
I don't know where to go with that one.
I missed the last part. I got distracted, sorry. What was the last statement you made?
So some science teachers, aren't exactly what the children have been saying, or I guess the students have been saying is that some of the teachers haven't been following that rule and they have been getting higher grades than 50 for missing formatives, for the science. And so it's kind of confusing and snatching.
Right?
You guys are just, yeah.
Shoot themselves
I'm
in
gonna
the
say
foot,
this, yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna, I mean, I'm gonna say it to them again, but tomorrow, but they're not gonna.
It's like,
Yeah,
I'm saying, hey, the vending machine.
Yeah,
If you have some teachers who are giving you more leeway, take it and run.
Yeah.
But the idea is you still have to
And
get it in on time.
And this is my thing too. Somewhere in life, not every boss is the same.
Yeah.
So you need to figure out what boss is this way and what boss is that way. I mean, when you know, Steve, when the drill sergeant showed up, you know which one this way and that way and the other way. And so, and that's life.
You don't
That
play.
is life.
Don't put it off till the last minute to do it.
One night.
You gotta learn the room you're playing to, right?
I mean, I think my biggest concern is just like the AP science. And I think it still goes for them as well, missing formatives for 50. But that's just my biggest concern. But other than that, I mean,
I actually
it should be
think,
fine.
I think that's better in the AP classes. If you're taking a more advanced class, you should be more responsible. Like usually those are the students who are pushing themselves harder. But again, I don't know, just talk to the teacher. It's either do it and put it in on time or talk to your teacher. I'm sure they'll work with you. Like, I think it's when kids turn stuff in late and then they go, why'd I get a 50? They go, well, because you turned it in late. I think there's a lot of, I understand why kids are frustrated, but I think it's really, there's a rule and you gotta follow it.
Yeah, I think there should be penalties for missing homework, but I'm not gonna say anything about that.
Ethan wants them all to be 50 if you turn.
Well,
them.
Put that down. I'll take that to Mr. Daniel tomorrow, so.
I mean,
Ethan is ETH.
yeah, that's it for me. On that note.
Very good. Monthly financial update.
I have the financials in your packet tonight through September 30th, 2025. The tax rate has still not been set. I double checked to make sure our reports were submitted. The financial reports were accepted mid-September through the DOE report. I contacted the DRA to see if there was anything we could do. Maybe I forgot to do something on my end for the DRA. And after I wrote those notes, I did forget to do something. So I went into their website to make sure all the forms are submitted. There was nothing for me to upload or anything. So she got back to me and I did everything that she needed to do. But then the famous new question is, did I have to recall the DOE 25 back because of the whole school care? So a lot of school districts are having to pull their DOE 25 and their MS 25 to adjust their fund balance because a lot of the school districts are now trying to take it out of last year's funds. So that doesn't happen for us. So we are all set in that. So hopefully we can get that set soon.
So the state's allowing them to pull back.
Because I guess some people are arguing that this was a fiscal year 25 expense.
But it's not.
That's on them, so.
Yep. The state's allowing them to do. I know multiple districts across the state are doing just that. Some of them may be actually using their unassigned fund balance, that 2.5 retention that they have. But I do believe a lot of them were actually pulling them back. So the DOE was actually, we had an entire, I didn't need to attend it because we don't have school care, but I wanted to make sure what was going on. But they were showing us how to do it on their website to go back and recall it and update it. And anybody that had questions moving on could ask any questions.
I know we're not in this situation, but has anybody asked the state to step in and say, no, you can't raise it 150% 1 year?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either.
And I don't know if they can.
I mean,
Can't hurt if you don't try.
but that's private insurance. That's,
Oh, there's plenty of, I mean, what the heck, we've had the government sit there and say, you can't charge so much for gas or anything like that, or they put prices on a stop, and
Mm,
it's happened before in this country. It's not like it's something new. Especially when it's, I mean, I could see 10, 15, back we had 25.
Since
But 150, that's
It's a lot.
Since we went with Health Trust, I mean, the increases that we've been impacted by, I was bracing myself for this year. We got the rates last week and they're not as high as they have been in the past. So we offer two different plans. One's higher than the other. And then dental went up as well. Dental went up higher than what I projected, but at least for our rates, their rate actually came in lower than the 10%. So
so here's a question. Could multiple small districts enter into like a aggregate insurance plan?
Like one big pool.
In Massachusetts, I don't think you can, because I know in certain businesses, because I've asked about that about hours, why can't we pull together? Yeah, sure. I haven't looked into it other than that. I went, okay, it's not allowed. I don't know why, but it is allowed in some states.
Hmm.
But I don't know if schools could do it in other states either. But I know smaller businesses could do it.
So because of negotiations, we were trying to get the claims experience and try to go out to other companies to see. I think we were told not to go to school care anymore because of what just happened. But Karen and I did meet with a group last week in regards to possibly becoming self-funded. So we're researching that avenue to see what that's about and what we have to do and just how it works. Some other school districts are doing it. There was a question that came up on my business official page a couple days ago asking what everybody was doing about the school care thing came up, and somebody said that she couldn't answer the questions because they're self-funded. So I may reach out to her now to see actually how that impacts things and where you go from there.
When you mean self-funded, is that we're paying the bills for hospitals and all that stuff?
I'm not sure. I don't know much about
I mean-
it. So this is a huge learning.
District is collecting between 20 and $40,000, whatever, of family and single insurance plan cost. I mean, you could see that banking that money as opposed to it going to an insurance company, you could
Oh, I mean,
conceivably be done if you had enough people, but
it could be, but if you had some, a couple of people who were really sick or in the
Well,
hospital, and
that's-
all of a sudden now you're self-funding, $7 million instead of.
that's,
Yeah, but if you look, I mean, our budget for this year for health and dental alone is $3.8 million, you know?
That's 10
as long as you don't have, as long as everybody in the district doesn't have a heart attack every year.
Well, I mean.
3.8 million
My uncle.
this year.
Well,
The budget for this year.
And again, who's gonna sit there? Because yes, you could do that, but now who's gonna sit there and, because
we at least talk about buying our own buses before we talk about provide like self-funding our own insurance.
my uncle had, treatments done when he had cancer. It was
Yeah.
$300,000 of treatment they were getting billed for.
Yeah.
Now, how much is that is real gonna, it's one of those insurance things. You get the bill and all of a sudden
Yeah.
you pay $25 and the insurance company deducts and they get, 500. But there's somebody doing that and negotiating with,
Right.
and all that stuff. So
Yeah, plan
I
administrator.
see what are those districts doing? I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean,
submitting bills.
I know someone that gets bi-monthly treatments that are like $65,000 per treatment. And you don't want to be on the hook for that.
We're just in the beginning stages of just trying to figure out if there's a better way for us to operate that would be better for the district and the employees. So,
It has
I
to-
mean, literally just at the beginning stages of it. I believe Karen just sent them our claims experience for the past couple of years so that they can take a look at that as well. So it's not something it's clearly not something I'm going to say, I'm going to report back at the next meeting. Oh, and by the way, this is what we're doing.
At least not buyout.
Good.
Be interesting to see what it would take to do for self-funding.
My concern is that the districts that they mentioned are significantly larger districts than us.
Mm.
Like they're talking Manchester School
Nah, it has
District.
like 17.
I don't know if it was, I think it was Nashua and I think it might have been Rochester. So,
Much larger populations.
so, it might make more sense for them. Whereas that's why we're just exploring it right now because it might not make the most sense for us. So. Okay. Your expenditures through the year right now, I'm showing about $321,000 left for the year. You will see that your salaries are significantly over budget and the benefits are coinciding with that. However, that is due to us being on the default budget and the contracted services. That's where the savings are coming from those. Those lines specifically are over. If you look at the backup for the detail of the object code, are mostly due to us hiring the curriculum director. But to try to help offset that, that's why you have $125,000 left down there for the books that we spent last year in preparation for the default budget. And if the other big factor of that is the BCBA's, because those were not in the default budget. So that's where we're on that front. Any questions on that?
student tuitions.
Mhm.
Do we have a lot more out-of-district placements than we did, or we were anticipating? I know we've had a couple.
I'm not sure.
They
I have them working on those lines for me.
Tuitions, all of a sudden, it's like 15% because they have a private institution.
I mean, that,
Agree.
if insurance is doing it, who's stopping
They're
them?
a private institution, they can do whatever they want, basically.
Those are all concerns that I spoke to, Terry and Jody about last week. So,
Okay, thank you.
well, I'm keeping a very close eye on it, just so you know, because if that gets fully spent, then that's not gonna help our bottom line at all. And, I will more than, if that's the case, then I will more than likely be putting us on a budget freeze.
Well, actually, that's on, I made a mistake. That's actually below, projecting below.
Right,
So hopefully it doesn't keep going.
but through September, I don't know if we've received all the tuition rates yet.
Oh, that's true, too.
So I think that's part of the holdup right there.
All right.
Any other questions on this one? And then food service, again, when it comes to food service, we have to pay for a lot of expenses up front before we start seeing the revenue offset of it. So right now I am looking at a $53,000 deficit right now for food service. And then after that is just the detail of expenditures by object codes. And I've pinpointed some lines, but if you guys had questions about.
Questions, anyone?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I saw another school district was coming up about $5 million short. I'll see that, but yeah.
Okay.
I saw it was a pair of unexpected.
2 million on healthcare and the rest special ed costs and stuff like that.
5 million.
And 5 million in Claremont and 5 million in Concord,
Well, I mean, for either school. Are they in one district? No.
separate.
Two separate.
How did, well, like, I'm guessing more people took insurance in Concord if they went up $2 million, because they should have already known their base rate. They voted on things last year.
In regards to school care?
I think that's what Terry just said, $2 million for
Yeah.
Concord, but that would be next year.
Well, this is supposed to be, again, it's a one-time hit because it's what happened to us several years ago when we got to 25%. If we were the size of Concord, we would have been, but only thing is, they gave it to us in a manner that we could plan for our budget. It was during the budget season.
Yeah.
Instead of like school care's doing it now, which is like, whoa,
Oh, your school care up raising their budgets right all of a sudden right now?
Hey, the
I thought
bill
it was
is
for
due.
next year.
no, the bill is due
The
in
bill is
30
due
days.
now.
That's why they're pulling money from
Okay,
last year.
then definitely somebody should have stepped in from the state and said, no, you can't do that because because don't they give you a maximum guaranteed rate? School care used to do it, used to be a little late.
They're not guaranteed
November.
anymore.
They can just raise their rates whenever they want.
See some little writing on the
It's
bottom.
Due to the fact that their reserve fund
Yes,
basically wiped out.
so basically they were raising their costs with everybody that's in the pool, right? So say we were with them and they wanted to charge us 25%, and it'd be like, you know what? We can't do that to Raymond this year. We're just gonna charge them 20%, and we're gonna take that extra 5% off what's in our reserve. So I don't know if that's what they were doing to keep their costs low. It's kind of like just a speculation.
Kind of like.
We're not with school care, so we
with-
kind of really.
Right.
So I think to try to keep the costs low, maybe that's what they were doing. And then all of a sudden they have no more reserve left and poof, now everybody's got to pay.
Mm.
For it.
Yeah, if that's the case, that's just poorly administered. But I mean, I know they only have so much to work with, but
Something seems fishy there when all of a sudden you don't have any more money. You have to get an insurance company for that.
I mean,
that's what I mean. It seems a little fishy.
We didn't have a flood. They knew how, they knew who was there. It's not our district anyway. We don't have them, at least. I don't know why.
I'll tell you from the insurance company side of things, it's been a good year insurance wise. There hasn't been a lot of major disasters. So I don't know if that covers the same with for this company, but
Well, and what, it was like 9 months ago that Health Trust was the one that was taking the hits with what was going on with the legislature about them having, right? And they didn't think that people were saying they were gonna have to go belly up and stuff like that. And they made it work and now all of a sudden, now it's school care, so.
Shazam. So I got,
Elmo?
no, I said Shazam.
No, and I said Elmo.
We can Elmo. Let's go. Let's go. That was my Elmo.
I think you were holding on a minute. All right, so I'll take one of those, pass them out. Let the teacher say, come on.
Pass them around.
Joe's Community Mints.
You're gonna bring them every week. You want some?
Good, thank you.
All right.
You think it might
Thank you.
scratching, maybe.
Anybody over this side of the table?
Good. No, I'm good.
All right, auditor questionnaire.
So every year when the auditors come out, I think I typically try to get this to you sooner. I don't know why I was slacking this year. I apologize. So they came out, they did the audit, and this is a questionnaire that you all kind of review and let me know if there's anything you want to change. And then you sign off on it. So I fill out all the questions in regards to fraud. Are we aware of any? Do we suspect any? How do we handle our cybersecurity incidents? Is there a documented recovery and business continuity plans in place to address potential cybersecurity incidents? I would hope that if anybody here was suspecting fraud, like I would be the first person you would come to, I hope. Since I have not heard any, so I put no for all of those answers. We did implement a new thing they were asking about today. We implemented a new thing with the bank called Positive Pay. So before any check is cashed at our bank, we upload a file to them so the bank knows that it is a legit check from us. We do it for payroll and accounts payable. And if a check is not there for whatever reason, they will email me and ask me if it's okay to cash that check. And then the final thing that they started asking for, which I found kind of bizarre, was for each board member, please provide below the years of service and brief description of their background.
Yeah.
So not for nothing, I don't know, I don't know all the ins and outs of you guys' background. So I basically put your names and how many years you guys have been on the board.
But questionable origin.
Somebody
We don't
can't cash a check now unless they call you and say it's okay. If I go to the bank,
If you go to the bank to cash a check, I have uploaded a file that has your name, the check number, and the amount, and the date that we issued it. If I do not upload that file, you cannot cash that check. You're welcome. So a little hiccup we found is that, so for the payroll checks, so people were trying to cash their payroll checks, and I uploaded the file, and all of a sudden, so like Monday morning, I'll get an email. And I'll get an email from citizens, they'll be like, hey, are these checks okay to cash or not? And I'm like, I uploaded those. I called them, got through to them, and they were like, oh yeah, well, there's a hiccup in our system between at 9 and at 3. So if you upload them at that time, there's possibly a glitch in the system. So I avoid those times.
The whole workday.
Yeah,
But I have a question.
at 9 or 3,
People-
not between,
Oh,
they
right.
can't get paid.
but we upload the files.
Okay, I'm
As
just,
long as she doesn't do it at 9 to
It's just an added security so that we're not, was it Peterborough who somebody took like 2 million of their dollars or something
well,
like
now,
that?
now you're talking my
we're
language.
just-
See, now I'm justifying.
Yeah, if I grab a blank check from her office and run to the bank, I can write a check off our budget and walk away.
I forget where it was, but there was
All
a
right,
lady that
now
was
I-
doing that.
Yeah.
And
Just
just changing the
okay.
QuickBooks
Our
to see something
security
else,
so
unless you
can-
went all the way back.
Government.
The
Yep.
image of the
It's like
check,
a little like, but now I'm
you
like,
wouldn't see that it was made out to her.
Edited it.
I don't need to try and explain that.
Yeah.
You know, there's that one employee you always have a problem with.
And-
You kind of have to check that. There was one. And every time there was some reason with it, and I'm looking at my girls in the office, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I don't know why it's always this person. Her check must not have cleared like 3 times.
Oh, no.
School.
Yes.
Oh,
No, don't say
I
it.
don't know off the top of my head. She doesn't work here anymore.
oh, jeez.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so,
Sure, it wasn't,
your motion to accept this, anyone have any?
I do have a question. Do the years of service really mean anything? Cause
I don't think so. I've been
All right, how many are yours?
filling that out like that probably now for 3 years.
11?
I honestly just look at last year's questionnaire and just up you guys a year.
I'm good with it.
Where am I at? Front.
Here's the,
I have a copy if you want a copy.
5 years, that's good
I'll make
enough.
a motion to,
Been that long?
sign the,
School board office.
Questionnaire.
school board questionnaire.
Board member questionnaire.
Sure.
I think that's why it's titled.
Board members.
Remember fraud question?
I'll second it. Whatever it is, I'll second it.
All right, second by Steve. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Unanimous.
I'll give you a 5-page essay of my background. Yeah.
I'm gonna chat GPT it. It's gonna be huge.
Plead the fifth.
Oh, none of it'll be real.
How far back you want?
Do you have a copy that I have to sign or was it?
I do. I have a copy.
Oh, yeah, all right. Can I do that now? I can come up tomorrow morning and hang out.
What?
If I'm turning late.
Yeah.
Today's date. 10.
15. And I can print.
Thank you. Next, what's my agenda? Policy CL administrative reports. So. We brought this up because,
I can go if you want.
yeah, if you wanna kind
I
of,
was gonna say, so John and I looked at it. That committee first and said, well, it should definitely be anybody talking about.
right,
So the concern is the amount of time in each meeting that gets spent reviewing reports. And we have tried to reduce that as much as we can. And that doesn't always succeed. And I know when we talked to Terry, there are other school districts where they only do written reports primarily submitted to the board. So I have notes written. I didn't write a formal change. I've never done a policy change, so I didn't know what I had to actually bring. But I think it actually, the policy reads pretty straightforward. I would only want to add to it that the report should only be in written format and attached to the relevant agenda that allows the board members and the public to access all related data. And then any in-person request should be, in-person, like requested them to come in person should only be for like major changes, announcements, issues that we need to deal with, not for a routine reporting.
So wait, would these, reports, like, is it, so would it be like, principal reports?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a full list in the agenda. I don't know. You get the agenda, yeah. If you,
you've been
click
here
on-
for those days where it's, we sit here, you probably get to go home by then, but,
Oh, those are my favorites.
oh, yeah, mine too.
there's a full list in the spreadsheet of all the times we get reports.
My only other thing would be, I don't like that we have on different schedules, you know, we have one has quarterly and one is, or two have quarterly and one is trimester.
Yeah.
So that kind of, I don't know, that messes it up in my mind. I feel like they should be able to just say, okay, end of the quarter, end of the trimester, and then give a report. Doesn't all have to be on the same day.
Well, and if,
Prefer it not on the same day.
yeah, and if it was just a written report, if we were given a report as part of the agenda, it could be whenever they had it, whenever their quarter or trimester ended, the next meeting would have their report. Like if quarter two, where are we? Quarter three, yeah, quarter two, if quarter one's over,
just about.
Yeah, so then the next meeting, we'll get a report from the two schools that are on quarters.
One, Pete,
Sorry, Pete, so I want to quarter, the other two trimesters. So Pete would send us a report that would be attached to the agenda. We can read that report and have it, and then it's attached to the public report. So anybody who's actually watching or interested will have the access to the same information. I know that was one of the concerns, is to make sure that everybody gets the information that the public, like, we're not hiding anything. People can read the same report we can read.
So I have a question. Look, you have a curriculum coordinator now.
yeah,
Are we supposed to be meeting with him now too?
it's gonna come, yeah. He's on maternity leave now, so he's kind of slowed down a little bit, but he's due back at the end of the month.
So we're gonna have behavioral health services,
So to me,
principal reports.
Yeah.
Food service reports, every
so
meeting is gonna be a
I
report.
thought we were more or less gonna, I thought when we talked, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, so I thought we were gonna kind of keep the principal reports, have Pete do quarterly, Tom and Amy come in on the trimester, tidy those up, but definitely do their reports on the school data and the reading and the writing. And then your facilities, your food service, your behavior health, your Jody and all that might do more of the paper, more of the, here's the report. Read through it. If there's any major changes, if there's anything big, have them come forward and then have. And
And
do
at
it
least
that way.
once a year, have them come in. I mean, they're not
And I thought too, maybe
get
we
to
talked
skate the
about
whole year.
once
but
a year
yeah,
and they could do it like a half
whatever they
hour and
wanna
here's
do,
where we're at,
yeah.
what we're doing.
Well, like nutrition, I mean, she comes in, she's gotta come in every year because we talk about prices
Prices.
and all that stuff. I don't need to see her again. Not that I don't wanna see her
I
again,
understand what you're saying, Joe.
but I mean, we don't need to talk about, our meatballs.
Or the-
5 minutes, what are we?
Well, why do we think
Yeah.
people aren't buying lunch? Like,
Yeah.
we do the same stuff over and over again.
I mean,
So I will say, I anticipated this, so I'm okay with them coming in, but I think then any in-person review should be limited to 15 minutes per report, nothing exploratory, no fact-finding questions. It should be read the report. Let us ask, have 15 minutes for some questions. If there's more time needed, then it should be taken offline and maybe done in a Friday memo or another conversation, unless again, it's something major that there's an issue for.
We don't get too many opportunities to ask those kind of questions, and I mean, I don't want to limit our ability to do that. I think some of the stuff we do is what I would call it gets a little micromanagey for my taste.
Yeah.
But I don't want to limit our ability to ask questions, but again, we don't have to sit here and ask, why are kids going to the bathroom? Why are kids getting lunch? Why are there enough parking spaces? I mean, that's not problem. That's not personal plea. That's not problems that I need to worry myself with. We hire people to deal with that. That's not in my purview.
Right.
So
So I don't know how you guys want to word it, whether it's a time limit or a subject matter restriction in terms of how deep we dive, but I mean, we've been in here where these poor principals, especially when we do the principals, it's 3 out of our 4 hours is going through these reports, and that's
usually 2 of those hours is
Gone
one
that far, yeah.
principal.
it's
I don't think we've been 3 hours yet.
it's
Hour and a
been
half, maybe.
hour and a half to 2 hours. We've had some very long stretches of a 4-hour meeting where, and then sometimes they're not first in the agenda, so they have to sit here until 8 o'clock when we get to them, and then it's an hour and a half. So I just want to minimize the impact to them. I want to
Right, 'cause they have to be there.
try to manage our time a little bit better.
Well, I mean.
You don't come in late the day after a meeting, right? They come in on time.
Yeah, they're on time.
Yeah, right.
I mean, do you have like Pete who's in,
Oh, he's here
leave
at
his house
6.
at 5 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning?
he's here at 6:30.
I mean, and we see them 4 times, 5 times. 2.
If my math is right, we do 35 of these a year.
And we have 28 meetings? Like, how does the math don't even work?
Because there are
Oh,
meetings
yeah,
where
we do multiple ones per
in
meeting.
April, we have 2 in the first meeting and then 4 now, because we'll have three schools and the curriculum coordinator, so we'll have 4 on our second meeting in November,
Behavioral.
February, and April.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much.
I mean, the thing is, it's what we see. I mean, yes, we can ask the question, why is fictitious grade here, fourth grade, the test scores went way down. But we ask it here and we seem to keep waiting for answers that we're not going to get. Because unless you really dive deep and come back 2 weeks later, we're not gonna know. And that's something that I agree with Steve. That should be in a Friday memo.
Yeah,
This is the question that was asked.
But then to put them on the spot and expect them to be
They
able to
can't.
answer that.
no, they can't. no.
Answer that.
It's like, why are kids not getting C's in science class now?
Yeah,
Well,
the question,
They only get 50% if they vote.
they're not doing their work.
Hand your homework in on time.
I think the questions, and again, we have to maybe hash it out more, but the questions really should be more of, not of a, why aren't kids doing better, or why are our behaviors dropping? Like, you can't answer that question, but you can say, are you looking into why this is going on? Yes. Can you give us more information at some other time? Yes. Like, I think what's important for us to know is, when Jody's here, we might see a number, we're like, why is that so high? And she'll be like, I don't know. But instead of making her try to answer it on the spot, ask her, hey, can you provide us some more background later? Go back, give us some more information, rather than spend a half an hour trying to
Trying to figure
change
out-
the question that we're asking to see if we can get slightly different
We're
answers.
trying to figure it out on the spot. Like, no, we're not gonna.
Yeah, we can't problem solve in every meeting that we have with one of our administrators. So
Then I feel like it puts them in a bad spot where they don't want to come here and deal with that.
I mean, we do get the written reports attached to the agenda, so obviously that part's not a problem. They're always attached. Jen's always great about putting stuff
If
in.
every year you had to go in front of your bosses 4 times and they'd question every aspect of your job and you just sit there like, what do you want? How do you want me to answer that? Like,
Yeah.
it just puts everyone in a bad spot, I think. It can, it doesn't always, but it can lead to, some situations where it's like, there's no, how do you answer that?
So,
What I'm hearing, just to recap, principals, when they're trimester/quarter ends, they need to do their data, keep it concise. Department heads, once a year. However, according to that, maybe 3 times a year, they provide a report to the board.
Yeah.
And an agenda. And then you guys can look through that, ask me to ask questions or whatever, email me or whatever, we can ask questions.
that's,
Does that work?
Well, on the principal part, are we, because right now the principals have opening day, a principal curriculum, another principal curriculum, another principal curriculum, and then end of year.
there's 5 times.
I mean, are we gonna,
Well, that's up to you guys.
So again, if we keep the interactions early in the meeting and timely, I guess 5 times isn't a big deal. Opening day should be pretty short. Hey, opening day was good. Great. Thanks. Have a good night. Like, closing day, that'll take a little bit longer because we're now recapping a whole year. But if we can Elmo ourselves into a spot where we are concise enough with their time and our time, I think having them come in on the quarter or the trimester, so one of them, Pete's,
It's gonna come in an extra one.
so Pete will come in 4, the other 2 will come in 3 times a year, right? Trimester, beginning, trimester, end of year. So
that's if we
4
got the other two. If we-
4 for the other 2, 5 for Pete. Because then they all come at the beginning, they all come in at the end, but 2 of them only have to come in 2 other times and he'll have to come in 3 other times, right? After.
You gotta keep them the same.
So you still want an opening day? I'm just asking, opening day, trimester/quarter. And technically, the 3rd trimester, that should be the end, the last one should be the end of one. So that really should be one meeting for that, for,
End of
year
year,
data.
yeah, last quarter, end of year is the same.
In June, into June.
I would be okay with that. I would also be okay with less, but I mean, I understand why we'd want to have them come in and talk.
And June's odd because there's so much going on in June, the graduation and the prom and whatever.
I think one comes into June and we have one come in mid-July too. Both of them come in mid-July. A lot of times we don't have the data yet, because,
Yeah.
so
Can't they
I,
supply
I'm
us
not trying to do
with-
data with degrees in here.
no,
Yeah. Can't they supply us with whatever data they're supposed to, like ahead of before a meeting or whatever? And then we can come up with questions, we'll read it, come up with questions, and then have them come in, give them the questions that we're asking, and then have them come in.
Well, I mean, we kind of do. So we kind of have most of that set up because when we get our agenda, Jen puts the principal reports linked to the agenda. So you can look at it whenever you want before the meeting.
Friday before the board meeting, supposed to.
Well, but even if we get it a day or two before, we'll have time before the meeting. Again, it's our behavior as a group to make sure we're looking at it ahead of time. Kind of limit the questions to a higher level question rather than a minutia question and be like, okay, so this looks like an issue. Do you have a plan to fix it? Maybe a quick overview of what that is. Great. All right, thanks. Like, I just want to make sure we're not A, raking people over the coals, and B, I want to make sure we're not wasting time.
You know, I can see with, especially with the principals, hey, we had a great, you know, dance, whatever,
Yeah.
you know, here and there, but we don't have to go through all 25 dates of, you know, half the kids don't even know
No,
what's going on.
no, give us the list of dates and if, this is just me, pick one or two that are super highlights. The prom went awesome. The kids loved this class trip. Great. I don't need to know about every in-service date. It's on the list. People who want to know about them, if they can read the list. I don't think we have to have it read out. It's almost like we're reading a transcript into the record when we go through these things because we read them line by line. And I would rather see like a summary. I think we've talked about this before. It's a lot of time for them and for us, not to mention, I'm sure they, you know, whatever might have said a little bit.
For with
No
Pete-
comment.
But with Pete, he's staying here an extra 3 hours. Even if he stays, you know, if you see 45 minutes after school closes every day, it's probably here longer than that, but, you know. Not like we're giving top of the payroll here for,
So I'd be okay with, honestly, 3 times a year, beginning, middle, and end.
Well, this all has to go back to policy, right?
Can we make an amendment here or does it have to go back to policy? It's in the meeting, so.
well, actually, no, because policy said we're gonna go back to here.
Yeah.
So this is it, so. The policy kind of said, let's bring it back to the whole, so that was the policies.
So 3 principal meetings a year.
I would be good with that. I think,
Oh, we're good, man.
yeah,
So,
a report, I think the report should follow, I think written reports can follow this list, right? Send us a written report based on what's on here, so we have all the data at all times, but then we see them 3 times a year.
what about the department heads?
I think once a year for the department heads.
But stay with the list, but once a year.
Yeah, reports when the list,
Reports from the list.
and then come see us once a year. Or if there's a major issue, right? If there's something they want to come talk about, they're always welcome to come be on the agenda, but.
Reports list.
We know Jennifer's good at giving us the report, but that doesn't give us time to really, we can read it, but then come up with questions that they're not gonna be able to answer.
No, but you can send them to Jen and she'll get them to them.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
You can email the.
email,
what you want.
yep, we can put them out there and, you know, I can,
Heck, you could probably send them to them directly.
We put them first when they come in too, so they don't have to hang around and wait.
I would try.
Yeah, they usually go pretty early.
Yeah.
Usually do non-public, our students, our schools, and then them usually, right?
We try. It's not always perfect. Sometimes things do get in the way.
This is a long day for them.
It was a long day for me too.
Yeah, it makes a longer night for us. I mean, yeah, cause, yeah.
All right.
If we're keeping score,
Written reports following that list.
Yeah.
Principals come in 3 times, department heads once. But at any time they submit a report, you guys could ask questions and we'll get the responses back.
The principals are still coming in for the first opening and closing, so 5 times.
No, I was including opening and closing in the 3.
They may be coming in technically.
So opening of the year, mid-year, and maybe for the 2 on trimesters, it's after the 2nd trimester. I suppose we could try to get it as middle of the year as possible. I'm not gonna try to dictate exactly which date. I don't think we need to split hairs on it's this many weeks before and this many weeks after. Whatever makes sense for each school to
We're gonna get
report.
the report, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Unless there's a problem, then we can, but
and then if there's a monster thing that goes on, whether it's good or bad, Terry will bring it to us and we'll say, all right, let's talk about it.
I always like a midday call from Terry.
had a couple.
Yeah.
Usually-
Ah.
I'll work on the sarcasm. So Terry usually gets them from me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, hey,
Hey, what's this I'm seeing on Squawks? Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I'm looking-
that's my proposal.
that's-
Of that. I don't know if I have to restate that in one succinct statement.
Principals reports, written report. I'll put it all out and you guys are still gonna have to come back and basically bless it.
Yeah, I don't think we can do that now.
Okay. But that's where I'm at. I just,
You're good, Joe?
Sounds
I'm
good.
good with it. We need that. We do need action there to the policy CL. So.
well, we have to do a second reading on it anyway, right? If we make a
Yeah,
change,
not even the first read. Is it?
there's an action listed.
Yeah, so I don't know if that would be an action.
So I think maybe the action is the superintendent will come back with a draft policy of CL
Yes.
based on the discussion we had tonight.
Yeah, our action is to refer it back to the policy committee with our.
No,
Well,
board.
we'll go just to the board.
No, just back to the board.
You can-
Bring it back to a
Otherwise, we
vote.
could play, you know.
Yeah, we
on
could be
back and
playing,
forth
right.
for the next 3
Yeah.
meetings, Yeah.
Hold on one second, my motion.
Second, sorry.
I can't make the
I'll
motion.
make the motion that we send it back to Terry to edit as discussion has led us down to. And then come back to the board on the next meeting for action.
I'll second.
Yeah. Okay, Joe seconds. I'm not exactly clear on what the purpose of that is, but discussion.
You just said it.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next. New revised policies.
You want me to read them?
Who's the other policy committee? Joe? John usually takes care of
I
it.
know. Policy IK granting of high school credit. For the New Hampshire School Board Association, sample IK was completely replaced and the title changed to better align and conform with overhauling rule 306 rules. Additionally, in order to consolidate provisions under the former 306 rules had limited applications to different grades, populations, and were formerly optional, but are now required. The subject matter of the following now rescind samples has been incorporated into the sample IKAA, interdisciplinary credits, ILBAA, high school competencies, and IMBC, alternative credit options.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions about those policies or comments? Mr. Harmon, anything?
No,
No?
It's policy IKAA, interdisciplinary credit. Again, this is being extended because I put it in the other one now. Subject matter, the interdisciplinary credit has incorporated into sample IK, learning of high school credits, achievement, and competencies. Set. Policy IKF, high school graduation policy. Further, New Hampshire School Board Association sample IKF was substantially revised to reflect the changes to the New Hampshire minimum standards for public school approval, the 306 rules. Additionally, examples of multiple diploma options were added, references to now rescind policy samples removed, most consolidated into IK, with the content of the former sample IKFA added to the content of this policy, see section. So,
Perfect.
policy IKFA, early graduation, we're rescinding this one. The subject matter of the formerly early graduation sample was added to sample IKF graduation requirements.
Very good.
Next up, policy IKFA-R, early graduation plan. This procedure as policy can be rescinded along with IKFA-R, but will be continue with the, but we will continue with the practice. Questions? Moving on. Policy IKFG, career readiness and credentials, credentials, as per New Hampshire School Board Association policy IKFG. has been revised completely to reflect the new the Ed Rules 306-04B22. Although previously only high schools were implicated in career readiness requirements, the new rule requires all grade levels to explore career pathways in developmentally appropriate manner no later than 25-26 academic year. When we did the talk about this, we weren't quite sure what that meant. I mean, what's career readiness for a freaking first grader?
Right. I was thinking, well, I mean, obviously firemen,
Fire,
Um,
police officer,
yeah,
President,
race car driver, those are usually things on the list.
driver.
Usually they get to see the police officers at the fire department. They come in every year anyhow. Touch a truck.
A lot of
on the truck.
teachers,
Yeah.
kids wanna be
Wanted to be
teachers.
Johnny Gage or Roy DeSoto.
Yeah, that's an odd way to word that, but I think I know what they're saying, but it's weird.
Policy ILBAA, high school graduation competencies. The subject matter of high school graduation competencies has been incorporated into sample IK, earning of high school credit, achievement of competencies. Next up, policy IMBC, alternative credit options rescinded. This subject matter is the alternative credit options has been incorporated in the sample IK, earning of high school credit, achievements of competencies. Oh, now we get into the nitty gritty here. Policy IO class sizes. We're bringing this to the policy committee. It does have a revision. There was some talk back and forth about the revision. I said, well, it's gonna go to the board anyhow. We'll talk about it there. Where is that?
IO.
See it on the agenda.
It's right, it's the last one of that first section.
So the one thing we did change.
It's on there.
You took down grades 1 through 3. Instead of 18 kids a classroom to 20.
We have this policy.
So I'm a little concerned with that one. Because it's, those are the groups that I was looking through the behavior, the end of year report from last year's behavior report, speaking of reports that we can always look at. And they have pretty high numbers. Even throughout the year, they get better after the first trimester, but I'm concerned if we put more kids in a classroom, it's just gonna get worse. I would not be in favor of this. I mean, I know it's only 2 kids a classroom, but I would rather leave it lower if we can. I mean, as it is, you know, a little older, they're a little bit more capable of controlling themselves.
I will say this.
You would hope.
The school board in previous years has had no problem sitting there saying, okay, we're gonna have 19 or 20 kids, in a couple classrooms. And we've sat there and said, okay, unless all of a sudden, like we've had in the past couple of years, these kids are tearing things off walls, they're sitting there, throwing stuff around. And then we sit there and think, okay, we need another team. I don't think the school board has an issue with sitting there determining whether or not we can go a couple over 20 in a couple over 18 in class. I just don't see it. That was one of the reasons why I think it's coming here anyhow. So,
So just to make sure I'm hearing what you just said, if we leave it at 18, it's not like we're ever gonna have a problem if we had to go to 19, or it's like we had no choice but to go to 19 or 20. No one's gonna freak out and go, nope, policy says
They
18.
would come here just like Jody did, and we moved that policy, right, to make
Right.
it easier for them to fill those classrooms.
Right.
and we're the ones who set the classrooms at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the fiscal year, when we look at it and we look to say, okay, we think there's this many kids coming in, how many kids are going first, and second grade,
Right.
we look at all those. So, I mean, we've never had an issue with sitting there going, okay, I think we can handle 19 kids. We've had it where there's been one extra kid in every classroom, because we ain't gonna get one teacher and cut it down, 20%.
Right, and we're not gonna add one, yeah, we're not gonna add a teacher for one extra kid in a classroom.
I mean, unless it is needed, like we have had for a couple of years.
Last year we added a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah. Because there were issues. I mean, that happens.
Right. So am I hearing you would also not wanna change this?
Fully in support of not changing it, so.
Is this an action or is this just a discussion?
It would change. But
That's the first reading, isn't it?
Just reading,
Second reading?
it's a first.
So change, it would be amended for the second.
What are we at now in these grades?
Oh,
Where's the actual, like
hold on.
12?
I can get it. Just give me a second.
I thought it was 15 or 16.
I feel like we'd need a lot of kids to move into town before you got near this, or we start firing teachers, which
Well, that's what you
really
would
goes
do.
over well.
You would fire a teacher and then you'd be at the 20.
Yeah, that's
Typically, I mean,
that's my other
when's the
concern.
last time this board approved firing a elementary school teacher?
Yeah,
No,
2 years ago, something like that.
I don't remember
I mean, it has happened.
Yeah.
Just go first, second.
So my other
Third.
concern on that was, yes, I don't want to also then artificially create a number that allows us to cut a teacher just to cut a teacher. But I don't know how that might affect planning for the new elementary school too. Will that somehow cut rooms down on the plans that they're building?
Well, if our policy only allows for 18 kids, then they're not gonna build a rooms that'll hold 24. Right?
Well, technically, the rooms for the elementary school have to be a certain size anyhow. What the, like,
Oh, there's a minimum size.
there's a minimum.
Yeah, they have a minimum.
Well, actually, no, there's a minimum, but there's a minimum.
There's so many square
Actually-
feet per student.
Actually, the rooms could technically be smaller now because we have less students per classroom, because you gotta have a certain square footage for every student that you're gonna have. But there's also a minimum, like, you know, 20%. So we-
I think with fixed, they call it fixed seating, it's like 11 square feet per person for fire code in New Hampshire. I don't know if that applies.
Students, no,
Student is something
schools,
different.
schools,
Smaller.
buildings are different now. It's very
We
specific.
got a lot of building and houses going in.
Yeah.
I have an influx at some point.
Yeah, I guess there's no real action, but I would just, that would be my preference, is not to change it.
Grades 1, 17 to 18 in a room. Grade 2, 13 to 14 to a room. And grade 3 is 15 to 16 to a room.
How many in kindergarten?
Kindergarten's not asking to change, so.
And there's how many,
Well, no, but
Five.
next year's kindergarten will be
There's 15 per class.
15 per class.
There's preschool kindergarten and 15 per
No,
classroom.
no, how many are currently in?
We have
Preschool.
83 kindergarten students, I think.
6 teachers.
Thank you.
Yeah, because those will be next year's first graders, and this year's first graders obviously become the second graders, so that 17 per room in first grade becomes 17 per room.
Raise
in
the
second.
outlier of 68.
Yeah. So they'll, I have a feeling those numbers are gonna start creeping back up. I can't obviously predict, but yeah.
I'm fine with leaving it. So it becomes a problem. And I'm sure we'll find out.
What do we do then?
Right now?
Do we just revise it and then send it back for second reading?
Yeah, that's what I'll do. The second reading, it's been revised.
At what, 18?
Its current rate, this policy is not changing.
We won't change it.
So the current policy is what?
18.
18.
We'll go back to a second reading. But won't change.
Perfect. Love it. What's next?
Yours.
Mine what?
No, new and revised,
Second policy.
second reading.
Oh, yeah.
So, let's see. Doing revised policy, second reading, there were no further revisions suggested in the policies below as a result of the first reading. So I'll make a motion to accept policy IMAH, health educational. Daily physical activity. So probably change by next year anyhow.
I'll second.
Second by Steve, discussion. All those in favor?
I
Aye. I'll make a motion to accept policy IMBA distance education.
Second.
Second by Steve, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Next,
Make a motion to accept policy IMBD high school credit for 7th and 8th grade advanced coursework.
and second by Steve, discussion. All those in favor?
I just went to the automatic hand raise. So,
Policy IMDA patriotic exercises. Make a motion to accept that policy.
Second by Steve, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion to accept policy JG assignments of students to classes and grade levels. standstill on this one, I guess.
I'm waiting
I don't
for,
think
Yeah, hold on, I just wanted to reread it real quick. It's short. Okay. Second.
all right, second by Steve. Discussion. All those in favor? All right,
This is all Tony, yeah.
what is this?
The
Would you?
wave policy KFR.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, do you have, a copy of the policy, or the things that are gonna have to be
I got
waived?
it all highlighted.
It seems like quite a bit now that I'm looking at it. But I wanted to, do something at the school.
I can-
Downstairs.
Needs to be waived.
What?
I'll read what needs to be waived.
All right. So yeah, I wanted to do like a Thanksgiving kind of dinner for the community at the school, and I would need to use the ovens in room 109 in the cafeteria. And to do that on Thanksgiving Day, there are policies that need to be waived and other logistical hurdles.
Specifically on Thanksgiving Day.
That would be the goal, yes. For a Thanksgiving dinner, hopefully, yeah.
Oh, Thanksgiving dinner. Okay.
So it's highlighted what needs to be done. Home economics room, facts, family consumer science room. It says, please note, room 109 may not be used. Please note, room 109. Okay, so the kitchen facilities, the superintendent, his day and he may require that an authorized school employee be in attendance when the school areas are used. Applicable fees will apply. I'm gonna waive that. I don't think we're gonna get anyone here on Thanksgiving Day. And so the fees too, I think, to my mind, it's going for a good cause. So any fees that would be associated.
Yeah.
Financial arrangements, number 3, food and or meal service and use of kitchen is responsibility of the Director of School Nutrition Services. Individuals or groups desiring the use of this service will make arrangements with the Director of School Nutrition Services. Costs involved with these arrangements must be paid in advance of the event, payable to the Raymond Food Service Program. Request must be made 14 days in advance. Questions?
You're not asking for the school to provide food.
No.
You just want.
I just
He just
need,
needs-
I just need the space and some tables.
And
And
then
the 4 ovens.
supervision, general conditions, Roman numeral 3, a minimum of 1 member of the school district custodial staff shall be in the district when indoor facilities are being used. And a minimum of 1 member of the food service staff shall be present when the kitchen areas are used. This must be arranged in advance with the Director of School Nutrition Services.
Now, is that the kitchen area technically?
That'd be the kitchen area, correct?
Like,
The-
asking you that kitchen. You
No.
You're using that just, you're gonna use just, yes, room.
Yeah, just the ovens
All right,
in there
so
are good
then, yeah.
enough. Yeah, I don't need the
The big one.
kitchen, no, no.
Okay. So we wouldn't have to waive that part, so.
Yeah. that was-
Make a motion.
Yeah, free reign.
Say KF dash public use of school facilities for a Thanksgiving Day event.
So, sorry, do we want to specify Thanksgiving Day just in case you choose a different day?
I should be over there, right? Choosing myself.
You are gonna, have to- no,
Staying in,
you're
yes,
fine.
like right now.
Just
You're gonna recuse yourself from the vote.
Right, yeah, I'm not gonna vote, right?
I would just say for a Thanksgiving event, because that way it doesn't, because if for some reason you choose not to do Thanksgiving Day, but you want to do Friday or Saturday,
Leaves you
it
open.
leaves you open to
Okay, yeah.
pick a different day.
So I'm just thinking, because I think this is a great idea, Tony.
Mhm.
Let me start off by saying that.
Yeah.
If I didn't have so many places to go to on Thanksgiving, this is something I've been wanting to do for years. But what about having a staff member here? Are we not gonna have a staff member here at all?
I think
That's my biggest concern.
we need to walk him around, show him where everything's at. And it is what it is.
Okay.
If someone
not
wants
gonna
to
get anyone in here.
volunteer, if someone wants to volunteer,
Because I'm just thinking like, I would love to come here and help, but I can't. I have to be at 3 different places. You know, I don't know if that's the case with our staff.
Well, we're gonna ask if someone wants to
Okay.
come and help.
yeah.
If no one can.
We're just not going to make it a.
we're Pay them too.
Okay,
So who's gonna open and close the building?
great.
We can-
That's
yeah.
kind of where I'm
We
going.
can figure,
Let's figure it out.
we can figure that out.
Let's worry about that when we get
Figure
there.
it out, I'm good.
We'll
We're
figure-
mostly waiving the fees
And
and
I can, we
some of the
can,
restrictions.
I can get you into the building.
Yeah, he knows a guy.
Yeah.
You know someone with the keys, Terry? All right,
Everyone wants
so
to come.
do you want to amend that to just be a Thanksgiving event and then,
My motion to say Thanksgiving event, not day event.
and I'll second that. I think Was that a question or you just,
Well, kind of just a comment. I think I really like the idea, but I think we probably shouldn't do it on Thanksgiving dinner because like a bunch of people probably just won't be there, probably with their families or out of town. So probably like just like a different day.
But the idea is for people that don't have families.
Oh, okay,
Maybe
okay.
have a bunch of kids and can't afford a big dinner.
Yeah.
They could come here and have dinner and do whatever they want. Well, not whatever they want.
they can come out dinner.
Yes, they can come and eat.
Yeah,
I think it's a great
Alternative, yeah, something,
and
because
there's a lot of.
there is an aging population in town and
Oh, yeah.
not everyone has somewhere to go.
Yeah, I'm sure if you talk to, Miss Merriman there, you could get you some folks helping too. Depending on which day you do it, I might be able to come down. We have the same sort of Thanksgiving Day restrictions, but
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of short notice, but what are you gonna do?
I don't think it's short notice. I think it's perfect timing.
I would think.
6 weeks.
No, it's funny.
For people to figure out what they're gonna do or not do, and I'm hoping that, you know, if, depending on who volunteers to help, if people need a ride here or whatever, people pick them up and figure all that stuff out. We're not gonna let a little red tape get in the way.
No comment.
You did red tape to yourself, man.
red, purple, we don't care what kind of tape it is.
All the time. What
Did you re-second that or?
I reseconded it, yes. Oh, I'll call for the vote because he has to recuse.
Yeah, you had to do
All those in favor?
Aye.
I recuse myself.
And the vote passed.
Thank you. I'll keep everybody updated on that.
Talk to Rainey because we got a
Have a good
huge church.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Night, Ethan.
People would want to help, you know, we have a huge food pantry. We feed a couple hundred families. Turkeys and all the fixings. So,
Yeah, I mean, you guys, but there's plenty of places that'll go that donate.
Yeah, well, now
Great
that I-
idea.
Now that I actually have the facilities, I can start to actually, you know,
just thinking helping if people
plan it.
be a church for.
Put something on the flyers up or whatever. So next up is committee reports. Yes, committee reports, hang on.
We had a CIP committee meeting yesterday, which we did not have. It is because it was only, well, there were four of us by the time it was done because Ryan was downstairs, he came upstairs, and there were only three others, so it was ended up being canceled. I don't think an email actually went out early enough, so unless you already had it in your phone, people probably didn't remember that it was that day.
Yeah, the only problem there is even we have the schedule laid out, but they're not always held. So it's like sometimes it's once a month, sometimes it's twice a month, like. So I will cop to that. I was one of those who were like, oh, didn't realize.
Anything else? Any other committees? They had the big building committee meeting last night. A few people showed up. Anyone else want to add to that?
From what I hear, I wasn't at the very beginning. Because there were some good questions at the beginning of it. When we got down midway and forward after that, I would say there was more questions about, why are we forcing this on the people? Well, we're not forcing anything. We're not spending $40 million right now. That's not what's happening. Why are we spending $280,000? Okay, speaking for myself, I don't know about the rest of the board. I'm sick and tired of this town being in the rearview mirror, because every time something needs to get done, we're always rushing to get it done. If we have the plans and we're on the list and they bring back, hopefully they will one day, but I don't know if they keep cutting state taxes everywhere in the world here. There ain't gonna be any money left over to pave a road soon.
House doesn't get paved anyways.
I mean, they're gonna have to sit there and rush and pay more than what it is. They talk about, refabbing the elementary school. Well, I've seen other school districts do that. One, there's gonna be even more work in that elementary school. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, if you really wanted to have a true elementary school, you're gonna have to add on first off. We have portables there. You can't exactly rehab portables and stuff like that. Yeah, you can put a new rug in, you can do that, those sorts of things. But you're not rehabbing a whole hell of a lot of portables. They talk about putting in thicker walls. Well, actually, we might be out of compliance there if we added thicker walls.
You lose square footage.
That's right. It wasn't made in
Walls will get thin,
I
their
mean,
hallways.
There could be fire code issues there too, because the way it's sprinkled, every one of the ideas folks have has an implication that I don't know that they've thought all the way through beyond the
You
cost.
can't go into an office full of cubicles and say, make the walls thicker.
Right.
You just can't. You
No.
can, it's just
Location.
not feasible.
Flooded again, that river, when my kids were in there, the river flooded backed up the sewer system and everything and the bubbles.
Yeah,
It's not even a
the
good,
septic is one of the things that's on our short-term list too, because it's in such bad shape. We're kind of hopeful that it'll survive. I think just to add on what you were saying, I think the part that frustrates me is I did watch part of it today. Not a lot of it, but the first probably small part, but I've heard some of the questions that were asked, and those are questions that folks had a lot of opportunities to come in. The first building committee that was put together, the second building committee that's now been put together, but they're coming in now long after other groups of folks have looked at those options and sort of ruled them out for all the reasons that you're saying. And all of that information is available. And listen, we understand the $40 million sticker shock of that. But to your point, if we don't plan, we won't ever get it done. And if state funding comes back, which we hope it will, we'll be ready to get state funding, which means it'll take a lot of the burden off of us.
I mean, some of the things that was said, like, we spend so much money bringing the preschool up here. That's already paid for itself. But what we paid to bring them up here and what we didn't pay just on the rent for the portables, that's already been paid for.
What we had to do is put bathrooms in there and a playground.
Yeah. But I mean, it did cost a significant amount of money.
Right, but it wasn't,
But I mean, it's already paid for itself now because we were gonna have to do something because the old portables, unlike the older portables that were out back, the portables that were there were, outside to the elements completely on all sides. And there were
no
more
bathrooms
issues
in
that I
there.
heard about. Yeah, there were no bathrooms in there. There was, the
I
only.
can imagine they were cheap to heat those things either.
No, it was not. Because again, they were tin can.
Yeah.
So, and they did have air conditioning because they have a tin can. and they
Tin
got-
because they got hot as hell.
I mean, it gets hot in the elementary school and get really hot inside.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
Air conditioning.
Well, anyone's ever been in a camper?
Yeah.
It gets hot.
I mean, people said, let's get rid of one of the schools and we'll just incorporate it. Well, we've looked at that. You can't do it. You gotta add on. It's gonna cost money to add on. So do you wanna pay $20 million to add on to a school that we don't think we can right now? Or do you wanna pay $20 million for a new school? Now, granted, they came up with, we'll save lots of money. Well, the only place you're gonna save money is that, a couple of people in the front office. That's it. Everybody else is still gonna have.
People think if we reduce a building, we're reducing our costs, and we're not. We went through
No.
this last year that the cost per student is the cost per student. You can have it in one building or 100 buildings. That cost per student is gonna be pretty similar.
Operational cost of the building itself is minimal.
Right.
I mean, it's not the major cost there. It's the staff and.
I mean, just like, it was pointed out afterwards, but like, people said, well, add on to the middle school. Well, we looked at that. We don't even think the back is big enough to add on because you need even more space because
Yeah.
you need another playground, you need all that stuff out there.
And we would lose athletic fields.
Right. Well, we would lose.
Oh, yeah.
The only athletic field that we use for soccer and all that stuff. No, we wouldn't lose that because we'd still have it, but we'd have to have,
The big upper field would go.
the upper fields would be gone. The softball fields. would
And a
be
sweet
gone.
tennis court.
But, and again, this is conversations that were had by the previous committee, and not that they can never ask because they missed the committee, but there are findings that were written down and published
Well,
about why those weren't the choice.
So let's put it this way, we'll just take the middle school right now. The middle school is not set up to have more students in it because to save money back then, they made certain things smaller, like the cafeteria. Have you ever been in the cafeteria? It's a lot smaller than what,
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're
I was surprised it was cafeteria the first time I walked in, like, this is the cafeteria?
especially now
Now
that
you've
they have
got
fourth
two-
grade. in
Yeah,
it.
so you have to have two.
Well, at least
classes
double as a
to make
gymnasium.
Lunch together.
And,
And 6 eat lunch. In fourth grade, I think it's the only one that eats by themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
and this upcoming year,
gosh.
the state's looking at making recess mandatory, I think, for everybody. I don't know. Oh, they're
kidding?
talking about recess, making
Oh.
it more mandatory for everybody now. maybe kids should go out and have recess. You can't take, they're also making it so you can't take recess away.
They already did.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much,
Yeah, just attention.
That's-
No, that
Just
was
attention.
part of it.
No, it's been like that for a
pretty tough
while.
to take recess away.
Well,
Trust me,
So
I
they're
fought that
making-
one.
they're-
I fought Bob on that
well,
one.
let's put it this way, they're putting it more inviting now, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
It's recess detention at the middle school.
The,
But it's, you gotta be careful.
but for physical activity, they want more physical activity from school and stuff like that, which, okay, I can see.
You can't take away recess as a disciplinary, measure, yeah. Maybe to do work is different, but you can't punish somebody taking away recess.
Getting back on track, yeah. When you have K through 8 and you only have one gym, you're limiting the amount,
Yeah.
you know, because they use a half a gym each class and stuff like that. I've worked in one of those schools. It's even more hectic. I mean,
There is no gym at LRES.
well, that I'm talking about is because they
Oh.
want to move it up.
If they move to the middle school.
They move it to middle school. It does become very hectic with 2 classes. And then you gotta hire another gym teacher, by the way, too,
I
because you
feel like
have.
my middle school had 2 gyms in it.
Well, you were Salem, so.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
higher middle and
Like I say,
Salem.
your middle school, Salem now has 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe 4 full basketball courts on one side and like a huge auditorium,
I'm sure, yeah.
something like
I've
that.
been to Dover High School? Goodness. It's a palace.
So they also talked about doing K through 12, which I don't know where you do that. I mean, you gotta have to build a
Pittsburgh,
whole.
New
new
Hampshire,
building.
Pittsburgh, New Hampshire has a K through 12.
Well,
they
you
do.
went $5 million over that budget,
The
so,
Pittsburgh School, I think it's called.
yeah. But I mean, you had K through 12 here before, and the people didn't want it.
I think the other thing is, and I don't know exactly who was here, but I don't know that there were folks with students in the school having these questions about, should we put them all together? Same time, we had a conversation a couple years ago about putting elementary school kids on the bus with high school kids. Like, there are things that seem to look good number. If
But if
the
you're-
only focus you have is reducing costs, there are things you could say. But when you realize that there's more to it than just a number, there's some things we just can't do.
That's a great idea to everybody but elementary school parents that
Right.
don't want their kid on a bus with 8th graders.
I mean, just moving the 4th grade to the middle school, people went nuts with on us, you know, and they've kind of, you know, they still don't like it. But they, you know, pre-K, they kind of were okay with it because of separate entrance for that and stuff like that, so they were good with that. But yeah, I mean, again, you're not gonna save a whole lot, because you're gonna need, you'll save on certain things, but you need more administration. Testa, for instance, as a dean of student services for, you know, more, you know, almost like a third principal, basically, to be in their classes and do discipline and stuff like that, you know, and they have other people that have to take care of certain things that the small schools don't. I mean,
Well, I mean, there's an implied cost to everything. Let's look at just the behavior side of it. If you put all those kids in one big building, you're likely gonna have more behavior issues than less.
Well, that's what I used
And
to
that
do.
that could mean more BCBA's, it could be more, you know,
well,
there's an implied cost to everything. But I think the thing that makes the thing I want people to know, if anyone's actually watching, I've actually asked Kevin to get me some numbers on how many people actually watch us live versus how many
I don't know
stream
if
it
they have a
afterwards.
Nielsen system. here.
Yeah, well, I mean, every video system can track viewership, but I just don't know if ours
On
can.
demand views you could probably get.
Yeah, but here's the deal. All of these questions are great questions, but they've been asked and answered, and I just want folks to know that a lot of this stuff has been looked at. The information is out there. It's available for you to read and look at. If you have more questions, I'm sure everybody's willing to have conversation, but all the stuff that Joe's talking about, we've gone through this and we've looked at all the options. We put together a public committee specifically to find out what was the best way to do this. And it turns out that the new building is the best / cheapest way to take care of what we need as a town.
and all those other proposals are gonna need buildings or something done to it. I mean, even if you just take the basic elementary school building 2 more levels, and we didn't even really refurbish the actual elementary school. That was just basically get rid of the walls, build a 2-story building next to it, you know, to add on basically and do a little bit of the upfront, you know, refinish that a little bit. That would probably be close to $13-14 million now, considering it was 9 back then and that was 10 years ago?
I would say it's probably more like twice what it was, probably more like 18.
I mean,
It was 5, 6 years ago, but
if you can get a whole school, because the state ain't gonna sit there and pay for refurbishment, ball, like they never have.
yeah.
I think they very specifically said they wouldn't know.
Yeah,
Or is that something else? I'm thinking of the water tower.
I mean, so
All
right there alone, why would I wanna pay 18 to refurbish an old building that's,
That will continue to need work.
and pay 20 for new one? I'm sorry, I'd rather pay 20 so we can sit there and have it for, as Terry says, my 100-year plan. Yeah.
Well, it's not 20, it'd be like 27, in fairness.
But it could be a brand new building that'll last us 40 years and likely not require much other than routine maintenance for the first 5 or 8, right?
I don't disagree. It's a hard sell right now.
Yeah. Well, again, I think the important part is we're not asking for $40 million next week or even this coming voting season. This is just enough to get the plan going so that when we are ready, we can put in the proposal to the state.
Mhm.
And if we don't take these steps now, we'll never get the building aid. So as much as people may not understand it, the expense today potentially saves us $20 million down the road whenever building aid comes back. Hopefully it does.
No, but people want to save their pennies today.
Yeah. Well, they could save. I understand, but if we don't, then next time we come around, we're paying the full 40 million. And now we're shouldering the burden of an entire building rather than half a building.
When you deal with a bunch of people that have the mentality of, if you don't put that money in your capital reserve fund, it goes back to the taxpayers, not understanding that, again, that cost multiplies over time.
Yeah.
It's an argument for anyone here.
No.
All right. Superintendent's report.
Fall sports are starting to wrap up. Sherry and I attended the game against Franklin. Boys looked really good. Planning on attending, senior night girls volleyball. Sherry and I are going out for another Friday night volleyball game.
I'll see you there.
Seniors night.
This Friday?
This Friday.
Call the wife, we'll do a date night.
Yeah. I think right now, the the football team's pretty much locked in for a playoff. I think Todd, we're gonna knock on some wood, is either number 1 or 2 seed in soccer, and the girls volleyball team is starting to come on. They've got some real promise. This is probably the best year I've ever seen them. As I mentioned, while we were guaranteed our funding for grants, Title I and Title II, the money was actually put in. So now they only released 40% at the beginning of the school year. They released the other 60%. We actually received more. For Title I, we received an additional $2,500. And for Title II, we received an additional $4,700. So that's good news.
That's $2.5 million.
Something we could do something with.
And better than $4,700 less.
I was gonna say, you guys have really been fussing if I said they cut us by $4 grand.
2,700 wanted to cover like 1 week's unpaid lunch day.
No, true. I'll wait for, yeah.
That's all I got.
Correspondence are there.
So I'm gonna jump on. I know you're talking high school, but the middle school volleyball team won their game yesterday. They're 6-4. They're in their playoffs for the first.
First time they won a game in X number of years or something like that. And
From my understanding, this particular program, they've never even won a full game. They've won sets, but never full games, and now they've won 6 out of 10.
outstanding.
So they're killing it this year. From what I understand, they're 4th out of 10, 4th out of 8. And it does look like they're going into the playoffs, which we're not quite sure when those are. They're waiting for Tri-County to come up with the schedule, but I just want to shout out to Coach Emma because she's been killing it with the girls, and the girls on the team have been killing it. My daughter's on the team, so I have been at pretty much every game. But yeah, so yeah, but it's been awesome. They've been doing great. They've been working hard.
How many more football games they have over there? Are they done yet?
One more home game, the 31st. I think that's it. They're on the road this weekend, and the last game will be on the 31st on Friday night.
Well, one of these days, New Hampshire's gonna have to tell me why they don't have Thanksgiving Day games.
We looked, I'll be honest with you, tell you why.
Nobody does.
Basketball. They used to have it. I think D1 could have it. because their basketball starts later in the year. It's all about tournament. And because we were actually looked at trying to do a Thanksgiving Day game here and basketball had already started, so it just made it pretty much impossible. That's why. Border towns tend to.
You'll just have to watch college ball on TV.
Things were over, yeah. Massachusetts is big, yeah.
Is that really late in Massachusetts?
Yeah, a little later.
Must start a lot later in
Yeah.
Massachusetts. Because, I mean, that was, like you said, Massachusetts, that's the big thing, for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the rival game.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Chelmsford and Bellerica.
Those are the fun ones, yeah.
Hey, Tony.
Yes.
Can I interject here? So we were talking about school care earlier, and so I went to WMUR while you guys were doing policies and stuff like that. And when MUR released a report at 6:07 tonight. Schools and communities in New Hampshire are being asked to pay $30 million to address a deficit in healthcare benefits. School Care, the nonprofit organization that provides healthcare benefits to schools and communities in New Hampshire, said the deficit comes from after higher than expected claims over the past 2 years. School Care said the unexpectedly high cost left its reserves below what's needed, and it is now asking its members to help build those reserves up again. A list obtained by News 9 shows that 100 towns, school districts, and organizations are being asked to fill the gap and pay more mid-fiscal year. The lowest amount on the list is just over $1,000, while the highest is for Londonderry School District, which is facing more than $2 million. 9 school districts, including Milford, are facing bills of more than $1 million. The superintendent said that the school board voted at its last meeting to cover the cost using money from its fiscal year 25 fund balance and current general fund.
So Raymond is not on WMUR right now?
Oh, geez.
Just be like, yes for that?
So it goes on to talk about it, but you guys were asking earlier, like why that had happened. So that's
A lot of-
how they're saying.
Other towns and.
And then then it's saying how they plan to fix it moving
No.
forward.
Are they just in New Hampshire?
I believe so.
I think so too.
These nonprofits, man, they got a real man, I'm telling you.
So just more information for you guys.
It's a lot.
So they're a nonprofit insurance agent, insurance company?
Most of them are. Top,
Yeah.
So
Top's Harvard Pilgrim's nonprofit.
Doesn't mean they don't make a profit.
But they have a war chest like you can't believe.
Yeah.
And the people get paid decently.
Yeah.
They pay themselves handsomely.
So one of the things I found out when we were looking into the self-insured thing is that when we're paying for our health insurance costs and those rates go up, that's also including like a ton of overhead, right? So that's where you have all those administration fees and stuff
Direct
like that.
costs.
It'd be like 25%, whereas if we did it ourselves, we could be down to like 6 or 7%.
Because they have an
That's how
office
you would
building and
see
they.
those savings.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, they actually, years ago when I was watching about, healthcare in the United States, and that's one of the biggest factors is that administration fees in the United States are the highest in the entire world. They're like 35%.
Yeah.
Well, I know, now we don't do health insurance, but for us, we're at like a 95% ratio. Basically, we spend 95%, 95 cents for every dollar that we bring in. So even a company like, I don't want to say it, like that one, like it's thin margin. Now it's 5% of a very large number,
Yeah.
mind you, but it's not like they're making 40% profits. They're at a 5%.
All right, so I got Saturday, 10 to 1, Lamprey River Elementary School, Fall Family Festival. What's it called? The Family Fall Fun Festival.
Sounds like a trick or treat thing.
Petra truck thing.
There you go.
Yeah,
Pancake breakfast too.
pancakes.
They used to have a
Long
pancake
branch.
breakfast and stuff like that.
No, not there. This is I'll be around. I'll be going around in the ram suit.
Oh, that's right, that's
We're
right.
missing the front hoof gloves.
That was with it last time I
Oh, somebody, I
That's
don't
the
know.
blow up one?
I don't,
Oh, no, the Ram suit.
The old one?
yeah, the ram suit.
Oh, man.
Dude, it's not as bad as they made it out to be.
No,
I
no,
don't care
dude,
if
that
the
thing
public
needs to be dry
disparaging.
clean.
That sounds like something that has the word funk attached.
I use that thing after I've done the 4th of July parade, because let me tell you, it's not exactly warm and.
Oh, we need a new one of those.
At least it's not gonna be hot out, yeah. That's the only thing I can think of in a minute. Like, oh, Joe sweated all over that thing already.
It was on the hottest days too.
Down the road.
I can do October. October's fine. but-
Oh,
I mean,
no.
the first year I did that, it was like 100 degrees out at 9 AM. I thought I was gonna, I had Janice giving me water because I had to take it off at the end. I really thought I was gonna pass out. It was so hot in that suit.
Yeah, so it's missing some hoofs. Figure that out.
Pretty old, wasn't it 20 years old or something? That's old.
It comes, how do you, man? how
I
do you-
don't know,
It
Joe.
literally comes in a big
I
box.
don't know.
Nobody even really knows who's in charge. of it.
Yeah, it's
It
like,
just
it's
kinda
like-
ends up
The elementary,
places.
it goes from the high school to the middle school. That's why.
It's
I
like
always
a,
ask,
it's like a U-Haul. It just
Yeah.
gets dropped off at the nearest. Like,
You know what it is? Somebody's got a hoof at home going, I don't know what this is for.
I
yeah.
better not find a hook once. in a
Probably
while.
spread out already.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so. Yeah, I'm gonna get around that.
You know, was in it at the middle school, but the,
You have to walk around like this, Tom.
Yeah, just get some black gloves. All right, next up. Manifest signing.
Accounts payable tonight, $639,361.74. Payroll, $547,750.67 for a grand total of $1,187,112.41. And they're all signed. Thank you.
Approval of minutes.
The motion to approve the minutes for September 17th, 2025.
second,
Took a long time ago.
Not even. One week.
Seems like forever though, doesn't it?
It does.
Is- All right, second,
I did.
I'm gonna take it by Beth. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye, unanimous.
Make a motion to approve the non-public minutes for the same day, 9/17/25. Do we have to keep these sealed?
Oh, let me look. You good?
They were voted to be, I believe. No,
I gotta look.
I don't think there's anything.
no, because we got. Yeah, B, C, and E.
That wasn't it.
Hey, no?
I don't see anything in here that's.
Yeah, they're pretty, yeah. So, and unsealed.
Second by Joe. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
A motion to adjourn.
Wait, do we have a non-public?
Nope.
We have none at all?
No,
Don't ask again.
We do have something after this, but go ahead. We can
Non-meeting.
stop.
Interesting.
Did you say motion to adjourn?
I made a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, second by Joe. Discussion, none. All those in favor?
I.
Aye, all right, thank you very much.
You could just stay.